One children, how are you all? Are you all looking and studying, watching the classes online? I'm sure no. Is it not? Very good. It is up to you to decide to study. Okay, because I said these days classes were not properly, we were not able to take it because of the due to exams of the high school, other things. Okay, and now I told you we are sending the classes. If you don't look and listen and study, it's a loss for you because I cannot repeatedly take the class again. Okay, so we were with the, I know some of your textbook doesn't have that poem, the duck and the kangaroo. I don't know why, but it is there. And afterwards, anyway, I will complete the lesson. I have already explained you the lesson. And we'll see, today we'll see the exercise part of the question answers of that lesson. Okay, you can take your textbook and look into those part. Okay, what is taking words that come at the end of lines, drift 5 pairs of rhyming words, read each pair aloud. So the examples are given for you. For example, I told you different time what are the rhyming words. Rhyming words, the words end in same sound, is not? Okay, so I hope you are able to find out. The examples are here, pond, beyond. The examples are given there. So there are still rhyming words are there. You should be able to find out. Kangaroo, two. Sound, no? Kangaroo, two. Hope, stop. Back, quack. Pond, beyond. It is already there. Duck, luck. You see the rhyming words in the poem. Okay. Now, complete the dialogue. There is a second question is complete the dialogue. Dear kangaroo, why don't you dash? Kangaroo with pleasure, my dear duck, though. So answer, how do you write the answer for that? So you have to fill in that dash. It is a conversation between duck and the kangaroo. Is it not? You know, I hope you have read the poem. Okay. Now, the answer is, duck is telling, dear kangaroo, why don't you plan a world tour with me? Why don't you? With pleasure. He says, why don't you dash? Plan a world tour with me. Me means who? The duck. Okay. Then, kangaroo with pleasure. My dear duck, though dash. I am afraid your webbed feet would trouble me. I am afraid your webbed feet would trouble me. Okay. Then the next one is, then the duck's answer. That won't be a problem. That won't be a problem. I will dash. What are they? Cover them with woolen socks. That is the conversation between duck. I will be sending the question answers in the WhatsApp. You can copy down. Okay. But you should be able to understand. When you read the poem, you understand. You should be able to write the answers. Then only I can see that you are able to understand the thing. Every time I am spoon feeding you, giving all the question answers, everything I am giving, you are just copying down. Some of you doing that, others are not bothering. Okay. It's up to you. Choose your life. What you have to do, you have to do. Okay. Now coming to the third question, there is, the kangaroo does not want to catch romanticism. What is romanticism? I told you. Romanticism is a joint pain, the getting muscle pain or joint pain due to vadam. That is what romanticism. Okay. The Malayalam is a vadam, no? That is one. Okay. So, the word romanticism has been split into, what is here? Kangaroo does not want romanticism. Spot that this word in stanzas 3 and say why it is split differently. It is there in the textbook is there. Why is it in two parts, romanticism. Okay, that is, it is written in India type. Why does the second part begin with a capital letter? That is a question for you. Okay, so what is the answer? Maybe rheumatis is equal to romanticism. Okay, that is rheumatism. 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 It is written. Rhu hyphen matis. It is written there in the poem. Is it not? Rhu is equal to rheumatism. Rheumatism. It is a meaning. You can look into the dictionary. In Malayalam we say Vadam. Okay. Then the word roo rhymes with the kangaroo. You see, roo, kangaroo. Okay. Then the word matis refers stability to rheumatism. Stability to rheumatism. The word rheumatism has been split in two parts that the sake of rhyme and disease. It is a rhyming word and in order to show the disease. Is it clear? Because I told you when I took the poem itself, the certain words, some words are used in order to modify, give beauty to the poem. Because in the poem, exact words, if we cannot get it, therefore rhyming words and things they will add. So it is a beauty of writing the poem. Okay, that is the creativity, and the author has written the poem such a way so that it rhymes the words. Okay, that is the meaning. Is it understood now? Rheumatism. It is that the word roo is rhyming with the kangaroo. The other matis refers to stability to rheumatism. The word rheumatism has been split in two parts for the sake of rhyme and disease. Matis is a rheumatism. Roo referring rhyming word with kangaroo. Is it clear for you? It is not because of anything other than that. When I took the poem itself, I said certain words has no meaning in, but they used it in order to rhyme with. Is it clear? Or modify or beautify the poem. Am I clear to you? That is the creativity of the poet. Then one more question is there. Do you find poem humorous? Do you find the poem humorous? What is the meaning of humorous? Humorous means joyful or giving. It is giving life or making you to laugh. Okay, that is what humorous. Then read loud lines that make you laugh. Read the lines that make you to laugh. What is that? Yes, the poem is humorous. Take for example, but quiet at the end of my tale. What is that? The kangaroo is telling to the duck, you must sit quiet at the tip or the tail, end of my tail. That is what it is. Who can sit at the end of the tail and travel? It's not, because the kangaroo is the one who is hopping. Is there? And every day a cigar I will smoke. Every day I will smoke a cigar. Who is telling that? The duck is telling, in order to protect the kangaroo. You see, so fun. I told you in the class itself, it is not exactly what it is a story. It is the creativity of the poet. Don't think it happened. The duck and kangaroos are friends and then went for world tour and so on. It is just to give you some kind of morals for your life. Okay, so there are also some additional questions that can come for your example. For example, narrate the story of the duck and kangaroo in about 5 to 60 words. These are additional questions. Sometimes you may get it, because you should be able to reflect and write. As I said, tell you in the class, don't just simply mug up with the question answers that is given. What is the moral of the lesson? What can I learn for my life from this any lesson that you learn? That will create life in you. That will make you to reflect. Don't take everything for granted. Okay, so there is a question. Narrate the story of the duck and kangaroo in 55 to 60, 50 to 60 words. I'll just to say that. Duck and the kangaroo were good friends. That I told you in the story. Then what happened? Duck was feeling bored there in her pond, because the duck is always in the pond remaining there. Okay, then she wanted to see the world beyond. She wanted to see the world beyond, means other than the pond she does not know anything. Therefore she wanted to go out. That is what, not the whole world. Okay, remember that. Now she requested the kangaroo to let her ride on his back. Then she promised to sit still and silent on the tail of his end. Okay, tail end. She also bought woolen socks and smoked cigar to keep her body warm, to the world happily. So they both wanted to go for, that is the content of the poem. So what does it mean to you? When you want to do something for your friend, or when you want to do good to someone, there is no restrictions. Okay, you may put some conditions, but you should have a willing heart. A heart to be generous, to help others. That is what the moral that you get. Otherwise, kangaroo and duck, it's not that easy keeping that. So, which means where there is a will, there is a way. So, your mind should be prepared to do anything, even in your studies, even in doing anything good, you should be prepared your mind. That is the moral that you get from this lesson. Is it clear, children? And coming to one more question, that is additional question that you can get it. What conditions did kangaroo lay down for giving his friend a ride? How did the duck fulfill them? So what was the request? There are two requests the kangaroo is making in the poem. What is first one? The kangaroo agreed to duck. What? He agreed. Is that the two conditions? What are they? But he was afraid that his friend is cold, because the duck is always in the water, is it not? Oh, because of its webbed feet, that is wet feet, the kangaroo may get rheumatism. Rheumatism is a sickness which body or joint pain, this thing like that. So that is for that he says that would make him sick, first thing. Okay. Second thing is, duck promised to sit still, silent, and the kangaroo on its. Okay. So the duck agreed. I will sit still. I will still means without movement, and I will only quack, is that. Okay. She brought woolen socks to cover her feet, webbed feet. That is what we see. She bought how many? So 4 pairs of woolen socks, so that she can put it, and so that the kangaroo will not get sick, because long time sitting on its tail. No, she also smoked a cigar to keep the cold. So in order to protect her and even protect the kangaroo, she said all these are the promises. So you should be able to understand the poem. Only then you will be able to write this. Then, what is the poem, The Duck and Kangaroo, about? Write in brief. This kind of questions you may get, because what is there, you have to think and reflect. As I said, I always, when I take a lesson, I give you the moral. Because simply reading the lesson by hearting something and it doesn't help you. It is not only for your exams, for your life. Everything has something to teach us for our life. So you can write down, this is for your question, you test your skill. What is the poem Duck and Kangaroo about? Write in brief. Okay, then what does the duck want? What does the duck want? Then how does the duck fulfill her desires? These are some of the questions that you can reflect and answer. I will give you these questions. You will have to write the answers by yourself. Because this kind of questions you must reflect and write. There is one more question. Why did kangaroo want to give the duck a ride in the beginning? Why did the kangaroo not want to give the duck a ride in the beginning? He said he has to reflect, is it not? Yeah, it is. He was afraid. He was to reflect. So immediately he did not agree. So wanted to check. Must write down. Sometimes some conditions, everything, otherwise we will take everything for granted, is it not? As if it is a by our right. No, everything is not for granted. You should have a response. So all your lessons in English, whatever you are, it is interconnected. There is a lot of things to learn. There is a lot of connections are there. Okay, so that you must be able to reflect. Reflection, your thinking will help you to answer all these questions. And one more question: why did he agree in the end? And he agreed. See not. First he refused. No, he said he has to reflect. But then he said there are two conditions. Then finally he agreed. So these are the answer is there in the textbook. If you read, reflect, and write. Is it clear, children? So I hope you understood the poem. And if you did not understand, once again I'll tell you the story. It is a story of the duck and the kangaroo. The duck is fed up of her life in the pond alone and goes to kangaroo and tells, you are so gracious, first she appreciates, and you are able to hope, you can go around, but I am always in the pond. That is so he is asking to take her for a ride to see the other world. Okay, she knows only the pond, that is only her world. So she wanted to go out. She wanted to go maybe see some places, not the whole world. Don't think that they are going to the whole world. For her, something beyond the pond. Then the kangaroo put two conditions. You read that, it is very clear. Okay, then she reflects and she says, no, you will know, I will not make you sick. What she says, because your webbed feet is always wet and I may get rheumatism, she said. Who says? The duck. The kangaroo is telling to the duck. Then duck reflected, then she said, I will buy 4 pairs of socks and a coat, and also I will smoke a cigar so that I will keep myself warm so that you will not get rheumatism, or you will be protected, and protection for both. Okay, then the kangaroo agrees. That is the poem. So beautifully the poet is narrating the poem. So what lesson that you learn? Is it clear, children? Read properly. It is very simple poem. You can understand. So I will send you the question answers along with the class, maybe the WhatsApp. So you can copy down the answers and study, work hard. Is it clear, children? So okay, see you in the next class. Thank you.